If you've been jumping from one sales call to the next, doing everything right, following the script, handling objections, staying logical, but you're still not getting the results you want, or maybe you are, but you're feeling quite burnt out in the process, this is probably not a skill problem. This is probably an energy problem. Specifically, you're operating too much in your masculine energy. And that's exactly what is most likely blocking your natural intuition and your ability to connect deeply. And we all know that intuition and that connection is what makes people buy. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am talking about one of my favorite topics today, which is operating in feminine energy versus masculine energy in your sales call. And in this video, I'll show you 5 signs you're too much in your masculine energy during your sales calls and how to shift that instantly so you can start closing more deals or you can start making more sets the feminine way. So let's get into it. So let's start with what it looks like when you're selling from your masculine. Number 1, you're trying to convince instead of connect. You're in your head, you're trying to get every line perfect instead of being present with the person in front of you. Number 2, you're addicted to control. You overplan, you overthink, and you overanalyze the call. You're so focused on getting the sale, getting the deal, making the money that you stop listening. And the prospect feels that. Number 3, you chase clients. You act out of scarcity. You discount your offer. You offer the payment plan too soon. You push to get a yes. You operate out of needy energy. Number 4, you dismiss your intuition. That little voice saying, don't pitch her yet, or ask this question instead of that question. You override it because you're thinking with logic. You think it's safer to follow the script all the time than using your intuition. But feminine sales is about feeling, not forcing, which we're going to get into in a minute. Number 5, you feel burnt out even when you're winning. You may hit targets, but you still feel empty because you're doing it through pressure. And when you sell from that energy, you disconnect from what makes you magnetic, your presence, your empathy, your intuition. I used to sell so much in my masculine energy, guys, like so much. I was trying to force everything. I was closing at 50%. I was making 10K plus a month, but I felt completely drained. I sounded confident on the outside, but I was pushing instead of pulling. I was like performing instead of connecting. I felt like a robot and I hated it. The moment I shifted into my feminine energy, slowing down, listening more, trusting myself, my close rate skyrocketed and so did my income. Because people can feel when you're not in your feminine. It's not about having this perfect strategy. It's about creating safety between you and the prospect. When people feel safe, they buy. When people trust, they buy. So here's what I do instantly to shift from masculine to feminine when I'm feeling in that energy, especially before and during sales calls. Number 1, I set the energy before the call. Now, I've spoken a lot about this before, but don't rush into your space. Don't rush into your emails or your Slack messages. Take a couple minutes. Make sure your space is clear. Make sure you're in the right headspace. Maybe even listen to music like ahead in the morning to start your day. Setting the right tone is going to be so important. Number 2, during the call, focus on connection, not conversation. Ask deeper questions and listen more. Actively listening is so important. People buy when they feel seen, not when they're being sold to. So focus on probing and clarifying instead of being in convincing mode. Stay open and don't try and fill the silence. We all hate the awkward silence, but when you want to jump in, pause. Feminine energy creates space, and that's often the exact moment when a prospect will share the information you need, or where the prospect will convince themselves and say yes. So before you jump in, trust your gut. Trust your intuition of what to say next. Some of my best closes have come from intuitive questions when they weren't in my script. And then I've actually incorporated them in my script, funnily enough, because I think it is important to track and measure. That's a whole another conversation. Number 4, close with certainty and softness. Say your price with calm confidence. Smile. Hold your energy like you already know this is the right fit for them. You need to be the leader here. You need to be so convinced that this is the right fit. They will feel that energy too and be guided by you. Instead of trying to justify or to force or to push, we already know it's the right fit. So we can be calm and composed in that price drop. And number 5, match the prospect's energy, not their objections. Instead of overcoming, meet them where they are. If they're uncertain, you become grounded. You become that safe space for the prospect to open up. If they're fearful, you become calm. You want to make sure that you never put the prospect in fight or flight mode. That's how you become the saleswoman that sells effortlessly, by being calm, composed, and poised throughout. When you sell from your feminine energy, you don't need to chase, you attract. You lead with connection. You're not trying to control everything. And that's what makes prospects say, I just feel like this is the right fit. I don't know if you're watching this, if you're in sales, if you ever had that, but I certainly have. I've had people all the time saying, I don't know why, but I just know I have to do this now. And it is because we're leading, we're guiding, we're giving them calm confidence. So next time you catch yourself tightening up or over talking or trying to prove your value, implement the points above, and I'm so confident that they'll make such a big difference, just as they have for me. If you've enjoyed these tips or any other tips in my channel, then you know what to do. Click the link below if you're a woman looking to get into sales and start building the income of your dreams. You can have a chat with me or one of my team. We can discuss your goals and see if the partnership makes sense. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.